Hi family, it's your girl Jayme, reporting to you all from Brooklyn. Sorry I couldn't be with you all, but I'm about to graduate, so I wanted to share part of my testimony with you all. Shortly after attending Victory, Dad had called me up to the front and he just spoke into my life, and he said that whatever I was believing God for, that God had already provided it. And specifically he said, don't worry about the finances. Now, mind you, Dad didn't know who I was, okay? I just started attending. He didn't know who I was. He also didn't know that I was applying for colleges and that I was believing God for a debt-free education. And so hearing him speak that into my life, I received it and I took it as God's promise of God saying, this is of my will. Trust me, I got you every step of the way. And so I believe God. And so in the August of 2015, I set out to attend Juilliard. And the school had only offered me maybe half of my tuition. So it was really a faith step of saying, all right, God, I'm going to go to this school. I'm not going to take out any loans, and I'm just going to trust you. And by December of 2015, my first year had been completely paid for, tuition and room and board. Now, mind you, the school didn't offer me any more money. And I didn't come out of pocket for it. My mother didn't have to come out of pocket for it. And I didn't take out any loans. So the only way my tuition and room and board was paid for was from outside scholarships and outside grants. Meaning there were people who were sowing into my life, who were blessed enough to be a blessing to me. For example, the summer before I went to college, I had interviewed for this scholarship with this woman named Susan Perry, who we had such a great interview, and she was so certain that the organization was going to give me the scholarship money, which was for maybe $1,000 or something like that. And I didn't get the scholarship. And Susan was so bummed out and confused that she went back to her husband, and they prayed on it, and they decided that they were going to pledge $5,000 every year towards my college education. So first year completely paid off. Now it's time to go into my second year, and I'm believing God to move off campus. And I was like, okay, God, you're the same God. You never change. So if you're the same God that was able to provide full tuition, room and board, you can provide the same with me living off campus, with me in my own apartment. And sure enough, again, same thing. Second year was completed, full tuition, and I was living and paying rent, paying utilities, having to buy and cook my own food, having to pay for transportation, basically living as an adult with none of my own finances. Truly, by the grace of God, I was able to handle all of that. Again, my mother was not coming out of pocket. I was living purely off of refund checks. Okay, now, for those of you that don't know what refund checks, it's kind of crazy. Refund checks are, once your tuition is paid for, any surplus amount of money in your account automatically is turned into a refund check, where the school refunds you that money to do with as you please. So my tuition for my second year had actually been completely paid off by the end of August. And so there was just money still coming into my account. And that's how I was able to pay rent, was off of scholarship money that I didn't need for my tuition anymore. So when I say God is good and God is a God of abundance and the God of overflow, truly an overflow of money is what helped pay for my rent, okay? So the end of my junior year, I decided I wanted to live in my own studio apartment. Now, I didn't have the money for the $800 apartment that I was living in with the 3 other roommates that I had. So I sure enough did not have enough money to get a $1,900 studio apartment. But I was believing God. And this was during the time when Mom and Dad, they were preaching, why not you? Why not you? We've been called to live an abundant life, so why not me? Why not? If this is of God's will, Why deny something that he is showing me? Why deny something that he is saying is mine? Because I don't see the money? Okay. God always funds his plans and his promises. So if this is in God's will for me, he's going to provide. I'm not going to do anything. I actually said, I'm not going to even try and find a job to pay for that apartment because there's no job I could take that could pay for it, period. So I'm going to step back and God, if this is what you want, you won't provide for it all. And it was a faith thing. And sure enough, I moved into the apartment I have now, where I'm paying $1,900 a month for rent, and it ain't coming out of my pocket. And when I say God is a God of abundance, God is a God of more than enough, all I wanted was a studio apartment that had a dishwasher and had laundry in the building. That was it. I didn't care for anything else. When I tell y'all my apartment has a gym in the building, it has a movie center in the building. When I tell you I have central air conditioning, which does not exist in New York City, period, at all. Truly, God showed up and showed out for this and has paid for it every step of the way. So I can gladly report that with over $300,000 in tuition and living expenses, I'm graduating from Juilliard debt-free, loan-free. All right? Peace and love to you all. I hope to see you all soon. Much love.